Our Father's peace to everyone who catches this message. It's time for a party. We're on the Origins series, and today we're going to discuss the origins of SOC and its interdependent relationship with HHStudio. Babek is in the house. Greetings, Babek. I must apologize to you. I still haven't learned how to say greetings of peace to you in Polish. Give me time, though. Thank you for being here, man. Good to see you. Honestly, I don't know if you're man or woman. My friend, thank you for being here. Give me just a moment. I'm about to start some music up and get the share going out to TikTok. Please enjoy the music that's about to be played. This is from an album called For Yahweh. It's 8 instrumentals, uh, private selection. Hello, Makati Deborah. Getting all the shares going out right now and about to move around and get everything set up. I am in the other room already with some of my equipment, just playing some music because, yeah, this is a test. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be talking about entrepreneurship and service in your community. Today's topic is origins, SOC, and the interdependent relationship with Highest Heights Studio. I'll return after these messages. Father's peace to everyone entering the room. Shalom Aparak. Yajaira Mateo. Isaiah Jones. Rara. Shalom Aparak. Let's see here. Any new visitors in YouTube town? Selma Inyemba. Shalom Aparak to you. We have an intro going right now. Some music selected from an album called For Yahweh. Joe Harrison. Shalom Aparak. Peace and blessings to you. Lady Love. Give me just a moment. I'm about to move this equipment to another room, and we'll go on with today's discussion. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be talking about entrepreneurship and service in your community. We're in a series called Origins. There's 10 special interest groups that I'll be speaking on. Yesterday we spoke on HHStudio. Today we will be talking about SOC and the interdependent relationship that is involved with highest heights. Thank you all for tuning in. All right. If you had someone that you say that you report to, who would it be? Ta-da, thank you for the love. If you said on a daily basis, or at least the majority out of your week, there's 7 days in a week, who do you report to? On this particular level, I'm asking you a question because, pardon me, like I said, we're going to be moving around. I forgot one thing. I need some backup music going on. And the other day, I forgot my handy dandy thumb drive, and I just remembered it now. So I'm going to make sure to take it with us. Get my cup. My cup is empty because I need to fill it with coffee. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Thank you all for stopping in. I see you, Brother Cole. Shalom Aparak. Got some news. Did receive a quarterly report today. That's going to be part of what we'll be discussing. I get to do some behind the scenes managerial work, let's say, because not everything was there. Saw some great things, but the one thing I needed to see was not there. Usually in the report, it tells me all about what was played on YouTube Music. How about this time? Saw everybody except for YouTube Music, right? We're not going to get worked up about it. And I'll tell you, there's there's a saying called patience and perseverance, and then there's also what's been going on behind the scenes. You see, even though I've been signed up and signed in with Sugo Music for a few years now, I think it's almost 13. Well, no, 9. 9 years. Corey, Shalom Barakatu. Our Father's peace and blessings. Our Creator's peace and blessings. Thank you for your greeting. All right. Give me just a minute. TikTok. I'm trying to get you set up and stable. It's one of those days. Been busy. Yesterday I was telling you all that I was working on a video where it was a jazz metal fusion. That project was completed and posted. And so now the next project is to get a newsletter out so that I can let everybody know what the topics of discussion will be. It'll be a bi-weekly basis, since there are 10 special interest groups, 5 special interest groups per week, and 1 question and answer, and that'll be on Sundays. I have to put out the newsletter so that everybody knows about it. So I was speaking earlier about the fact that I got a quarterly report, and there's some behind the scenes work that goes on with that. Why am I telling you all this? Because if you are an entrepreneur, whether you are incorporated or you have an LLC, or if you are a sole proprietor, you have a ledger that you must keep that tells the report of your business, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. As a matter of fact, you would release a public record annually, especially if you are incorporated or if you have an LLC. If you have an LLC, that means that there are people who have invested in your company, so you definitely have to. Internet error and TikTok. Try again. Greetings, TikTok. Can I get some green hearts and locks if you're still there with me, TikTok? Can I get some green hearts and locks over here in YouTube land too? TikTok tried to tell me that there was a break in signal. I want to make sure everything's up and running. Green hearts. Green equals love. Green is also the rainbow that is the highlight around the throne in heaven. It's emerald. Green hearts, the color of love. Yahweh, Ahava. Yahweh is love. So, green hearts and some locks if you got them. And I do appreciate the love. I see it. As long as we're all still on, because we're rocking and rolling. We're rocking and rolling since before there was an electric guitar. We're rocking and rolling since before that ship that nobody wants to talk about, that boat. I see you, brother. Goodbye. We've been rocking and rolling on a boat even before then. We were traveling, visiting, and casting nets. So we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. If one signal stops, then we have another one. And the whole point behind this is to find that secured, encrypted signal that we can always use. Yes, Akati, what's your question? What's your question? What's your question? putting things just so until I get everything going. Readjusting my pocket, so to speak. Uh, got a flash goal. Well, you don't have to. Okay, the question is, I don't qualify for an LLC. Well, that's why we're having this discussion. Because if you have a business proposal, that would be the thing that you would take to the bank loan officer to be approved for your loan. Backstreet Mini. Shalom Barak to you. Uh, Jesus faith like river. Shalom Barak to you as well. Are there any others? So, if you don't qualify for an LLC, are there any other options? Yes. Thank you for that question. All right, so there's the incorporated status. You would actually have to be worth over $500,000 to be in the incorporated status because you would be offered on the public market. Now, the private sector, that's where you would be LLC, and that's 0 to 99,000. And even to get to that level, like you say, there are some perimeters, outlines, outliers. However, if you are a sole proprietor, then you have other options without the limitations, because an LLC means exactly that. You are limited in your license for the contracts that you draw. Might be thinking of something else. No, you're good. You are Torah. You are constitutional. You are by law. You are looking at it letter by letter. So, this is how we do this. We have a business proposal because we have a mission and we have the structure that we're going to use in order to implement our business. That's the business proposal. And it's got 7 pages to it, and it describes exactly what the pursuit is going to be, right? Now, as a sole proprietor, the reason why I asked at the beginning of this, who do you report to? Because an entrepreneur can report to a group of people, the public at large, or one understood standard. Looking for something to cover you because of, yes, understood. That's why you would be sole proprietor. I'm not reading out all of the information because we're not just putting it out there like that. But in this particular situation, I will say this. Let's say that you do have physical impairments. Let's say that they want to tell you about your age restrictions or your zip code, right? That's not an issue in this because anybody can take the responsibility of claiming their work and the rights to all profits thereof and from. That's what we're talking about right now. So when you wake up every day, who do you report to? Khan. Khan Akati Khan. You can report to the one who made everything and owns everything, or you can say that, oh, I do this all myself and I report to self. Sure. Either way, there's some kind of self accountability going, and I'll let you ride and walk with that. However, what we're going to talk about is one understood standard while being an entrepreneur. Now, all the same practices above would occur. We're just talking about using them in certain standard form. So, SOC, also known as servants of Christ, I couldn't tell you exactly who established it and started it. I can tell you who represents it now. I can tell you that even that particular person would say, no, I don't own it. It belongs to Yahweh Elohim. our creator. Yo, pardon me just a second. I gotta plug in this device. I forgot to do that. Set it all up nice and neat and forgot to give it some energy. Oh, and it all falls in. What y'all know about Little Shop of Horrors? Ever seen that movie? Feed me, Seymour. Alright, let's see if I can get you all situated again. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. There we go. I never did plug in that handy dandy thumb drive, right? Okay. Because we got right on into business. I'm not complaining about it. I hope you're not. I hope you also didn't mind that interlude at the beginning. See, that was very important. It also has to go with the business and the interdependency and how SOC was established and that relationship that it has with HHStudio. All and everything comes together. Akati, you and I share kindred spirits because I was born old too. When I learned how to talk, I was telling stories. Talk like an old man. I was told that I talked like my granddaddy before I met him, and then when I was 2 years old, he held me up for the first time and he looked at me and I looked at him. And yeah, we knew. Yeah. So, here we go. You can be on the public market across the global exchange and have an incorporated business. You could still be on the global exchange with an LLC. However, you are limited with what you do. You are limited in your territory. You are limited in the services that you offer. If you are a sole proprietor, you still have global reach. Now it's up to you on how far out you want your perimeter to be. You might want to be local. You might want to be regional, which could be statewide, countrywide, continental wide, hemisphere wide, ally wide. You see, we're looking at something where we don't have to go and talk to the bank loan officer. We want to speak their language, though. Because anybody that we meet, we want them to understand that this is the proposal and this is the service that I can offer to you. And if you'd like to make an agreement, we can make an exchange. Because I don't do contracts, I do agreements. There's a difference. So we're going to look at that path of being sole proprietors, right? Because even the Khalet of SOC, the leader of the assembly of SOC, would tell you that he is a sole proprietor of a particular group that does collect finances and then redistributes them. However, he doesn't own it. He just happens to be one who is responsible for it, and he's the head name that would be seen. He's not a CEO. A chief executive officer would be in front of a board. It's not an LLC because he's offering education, teaching you about culture and certain things that you can adopt to use a certain sociology. So yeah, he's a sole proprietor. And one day, I was uploading some videos to TikTok, and I was scrolling while my video was uploading. And this is something that I don't do on a regular. I don't scroll. As a matter of fact, as soon as whatever I upload is done, I usually leave that site so that I can go and upload somewhere else. So the amount of time that you have For me to scroll and see anything that's happening on a social media site is anywhere from 15 seconds to 3 minutes. Now, quite odd. That's about the amount of span of time that they give you for people watching whatever it is that you post up. Actually, it's about 1 second for them to register that you got something going there, or if they like it, about 3 to 5 seconds if they want to count it as a view because they paid attention for a second. And then anything after that is actually meat and potatoes. All right, they got the menu, and then it was presented to them, put it the plate in front of them, and they smelt it. And then after that is meat and potatoes. Well, Beck, I hope you're enjoying the ride. And I hope you got your tea ready. I asked you yesterday about gunpowder tea. Have you had green tea? I like green tea. I like green tea with honey and a little bit of black seed oil. It's awesome. All right. So, and then you asked me, how do you record and conduct business on YouTube? I'm giving you the blueprints, right? Now, also, please understand this is not just something for a musician. This is all practices and walks in life in all businesses. It's not just one of those put your business here and fill in the blanks. There are different strategies for different types of businesses. There are different types of stances. There's different, like I said, if there's three different types of management models, then there's three different reasons to use them, and many others beyond that, right? So I'm just giving you an example. We're doing a walkthrough. That's why we're doing the origins uh, series. That's the word I'm looking for. We're doing the origins series so you can understand the relationships, how they are interdependent. Now, a person who has a business and they have an LLC, they would go throughout the community, not the residences. They would go to the outskirts of the community where the businesses are. They would go to those strip malls. They would go to the places where somebody has a small business, and they would pay them a visit and let them know, well, hey, this is the business that I've started, and I'm local in this area. What is it that you do outside of what's going on your signage? I see what you advertise from the street. What else do you do? So this is what I do. Can we form a partnership? That's what an LLC would do, because you want other people to invest in your particular practice, and most definitely in you, singularly, because if they invest in you, then they're going to tell their friends, this is the one to go to. And you would pay that back by doing the same, according to whatever it is that they have to offer. Now you formed a network, you formed a kindred relationship, so on and so forth, right? That's the ways of the corporation and LLC. The ways of sole proprietorship goes like this. You still go and you pay visits to these different businesses. However, you can also pay kindness to your neighbors as you're traveling along and stop and say hello and find out what it is that they're doing. What you got going on today in the yard, right? I'm just interested in knowing anyway. I'm on my way up to the store to do so and so. Now, helps a lot if you're walking, because now you got more time to stop and smell the flowers, as they say. And you can do this any kind of way. As a matter of fact, some people have a large register of contacts through Facebook, larger than their contacts within the phone itself. Now, you can find out what people like to eat, or you can find out what they like to do as service for their community. Now, if their service for the community is them serving food, then there you go. Post it up, let people know, right? But otherwise, what do you do? Who are you? What makes you an individual? Those are the things we should be sharing instead of them looking at what it is that we just sit and watch and scroll. We should be giving product instead of eating product. That's how you are the ATM. Anybody can go to a machine and get some printed out green things. How many people can come to you and actually get what you are exemplary at? How many people can go somewhere else and get what you are exemplary at? It's something to consider. That is the purpose. That is your purpose, to give to the world what it is that you can specifically do. Cookie cutter is a phrase for a reason. I heard someone speak on Akati Mavis's cookies, and they don't come from a cookie cutter. Dorena Lindsay, Eric Andres, Esquire, Mr. Carter, GC Frose. Shalom Barak to all of you. Peace and blessings. Thank you all for joining. We get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern daily, except for on Shabbat, to discuss entrepreneurship and service in the community. Today we are discussing the origins of the relationship between SOC and HHStudio. So, I am the sole proprietor of HHStudio. I was scrolling through TikTok, uploading one day, uploading a video, and I noticed someone speaking about being active. It's one thing for a person to jump up and say they are an activist. It's another for a person to be proactive and then give you reviews about not only what they did, but what others who they are involved with have been doing and still are doing and plan on doing. That's activity. We all have energy. You can either be kinetic or you can be potential. Most people shine in their potential. How many are kinetic though? How many are actively doing? Right? Charlemagne, Ramirez, Edia Hurley, Lorraine Murray, Estefany Rubio, Velvet Lament, Amanda Mega. What are you making great again, huh? Let's see. User something. Ruckover. We said GC Florizy. All right. Peace to everyone for joining. So as I'm scrolling, I see this person that's speaking on activities. I should find this guy named Kofi more often, is what I thought to myself. Went on doing my thing and my video uploaded. I went about my business for the day and uploaded to several sites. By the way, let me share something with you. You see these stories all blend together. Did you know that if you build it, they will blog? B-L-O-G. If you build it, they will blog. Now, why would someone say something weird like that? Because it's a field of streams. Go tell everybody you heard that one from Dolly Old Guy. If you build it, they will blog. Because it's a field of streams. Do you interact using 9 different social media platforms? When you go shopping, do you go to 9 different stores or do you get 9 different things at one store and go back home? You see, there's 9 players on the baseball field. They do offense and they do defense. Look at your social media platforms as your stores. It's not just a place for you to do your journals and say hi to everybody. Is that what you do at work? You show up. This is my spot. Hey, everybody. It'll be lunchtime soon. Oh, it'll be time to go home soon. Bye, everybody. That's what you do at work. So, I go and I hit up about 9 social media sites in a day. And I come back a day or two later. I'm on TikTok. I'm scrolling. This is this guy named Kofi again, talking about some stuff. But this time he's live. Oh, what a treasure. What a treat. And he's going on and speaking and very informative and reminding me of a lot of stuff that I've studied myself. Definitely got to find this guy named Kofi. Check his profile. Looking at his videos. He's got a lot going on. Okay. I'm going to follow this guy named Kofi. Later on, I requested to have a conversation with Kofi. Now, what does all that lead up to? Well, you see, as a producer, as a promoter, we're given certain strategies that we're supposed to use in order to be successful in our business. And not only am I a musician, I'm a producer and a promoter within the realms of the activities with HHStudio. Here's something they told me to do. Who are they? Well, the people who tell you about strategies. What they tell you? Go find a group of people that speak on the same kind of subject matter that you do. Pay attention to the person who leads the group. Become a steady member of the group itself. Have conversations and communications in the comment section. Establish a bond. Stay there and be active. Make yourself open for other people to approach you. Okay. Check, 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 checkity check, check. Everything except for the blue check. You know, you got to pay for that blue check, right? So, request to speak with Khaled Kofi because I want to hashtag find Kofi. And he says, yes, let's meet up at this particular date and have a conversation. We can call and talk, or if you want to do live, however you want to do it on a video. Wow. Okay. Even to the point where he offered to me what would be most comfortable, what time, what format. And I'm tripping over myself because I'm trying to offer the same back to him. You know, just thrilled about the fact that we get to have a conversation. We're going to converse. Oh, yeah, right? And the day came and we spoke. We didn't speak for hours and hours. Seemed like it. It might have been an hour and a half. Seemed like we were talking for 3 or 4 hours. Seemed like we'd known each other for 30 years. I had just tuned into this guy maybe 2 weeks before that. This is right after someone took the mindset to paint 3 letters in the middle of the street. They were supposed to be having a music festival in H-Town. This was right after people figured out that, you know, kindness is contagious and so are airborne diseases. This is right after people found out that not everybody likes statues. They are reminders of nightmares. It was right after all of that was happening. right around the time, right prior to the time when people decided they wanted to jump the fence and run all up into the White House. See, all that happened around that time. And I went and found Kofi. Bro, I'm thrilled to have a chance to speak with you. I'm thrilled to have the chance and the opportunity to ask if I can build with you. You know why? You see, I have certain skills that I'd like to offer. I'm already out here doing it as far as what's going on with my own namesake. However, I have not had the opportunity to find a group of people that I could actually work with that represent one particular special interest. And you, sir, you are the shining example of the standard that we need to have written, spoken, and used at all times. Huh. He's a very humble person. Well, what do you mean? Well, you see, sir, you are changing lives one mind at a time. And I can dig that. You see, sir, you are the voice for the voiceless. And you speak the unspoken. I like that. As a matter of fact, I see that you use it as hashtags. Hashtags are tools. That's my trade. And what I'd like to do is make sure that I won't say everybody, but all the people who need to know definitely will know about these hashtags associated with you because we share one mission. And that's to make sure that the true and righteous word is spread. We have to make sure it's all around the globe. We share that mission. And I'd like to work with you. He's a very humble man. Me, I'm jumping out of my seat and out of my skin. You know, we can do something bigger and better than BTN. Because I don't believe in all the super stuff. However, I do believe in what we can do with a broadcast signal. And he's a humble guy. And we actually were having a video chat. And I'm gonna tell you something. Before it was all said and done, both of us was smiling. Both of us, our eyes was tight, holding back some tears. And as my old reverend would say, from back in the day when I was young and actually did go to church for a second, tears of joy, tears of love, tears of happiness. It's the hour of power. Yeah, and a whole bunch of hallelujahs went up. And he said, all praises to the Most High. And I said, Subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, what that mean? And I said, well, it means all praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. And if you happen to see me type that in, just know that's what I'm saying. And yes, I will be coming in and checking out what's going on. And I'll try to make sure that I'm not too much of a distraction. However, when people come in and act a little bit silly, which I've seen, and they want to ask you questions that are off base, there's a few things that I know about, and I'm very happy to add in. And I will make sure to not distract from what you have going. And if I do, please forgive me. He's a very humble man. And he just smiled. And we squinted our eyes again, and we did some more halal guys, right? And that turned into, you know what? Not only do I want to work with those hashtags that you have, I want you to understand that not only those hashtags that you're using, but some of those phrases that you are using, they are worthy of being registered properly to you and your name. Along with the fact that every time you get up in front of people, you are basically giving not just a soundtrack, that is a live film. Know the difference between a film and a movie? Do you? Not asking him, although I did. I'm asking you all, whether you're watching right now or later, do you know the difference between a movie and a film? Movies are distractions. Movies are entertainment. Movies are scripts that are meant for you to be drawn into a drama, a comedy, a blend thereof. A film is counted as a documentary. A film will bring you in order for you to learn something, to contemplate it, to give you a factoid that you can actually citate as cite as a resource, given information. That's a documentary. That would come from someone who's actually teaching you. So if a person is known as a kahalet, which is a teacher or a leader, then if they are presenting information in front of someone and it is being recorded and it is placed before other people, then it becomes a documentary, right? Hmm. Now, let's go a little further with this because did you also know if you have something that's at least 45 minutes long, then you can register it in short film festivals? You know who's been in short film festivals? A director named Martin Scorsese. There's a movie that I really like. It's called, well, it's not a movie, it's a film. It's a film called Kayanisqatsi, Weird World in Chaos, moving backwards. Kayanisqatsi. Came across that movie when I was about 17 years old. Boom! Came across that film when I was about 17 years old. Yeah, make you think. Kayanisqatsi. It's one of the things that influenced me on what I wanted to do in my career path. I didn't grow up in a state that offers the best in guidance for musicians or people who were even considering cinematic arts. And I wasn't considering either one at the time. I actually wanted to be a writer, not exactly in a state that even takes care of such things as that. I became quickly detached from anything that had to do with society because of that. It took certain people who stood out amongst the crowd that made me even want to interact with other people. I felt drawn away. I did not feel like part of the circles. For all of the different circles out there, I had certain tendencies where, yeah, that's, but no, no, I couldn't give you 100%. I couldn't give you 2% on a Tuesday, right? But there are certain things that I stand on all the time and I walk with, and I enjoy it when other people do as well. So after I found Kofi, I let him know, hey, I'd like to make an agreement with you, and this is what I'd like to do. So it went from me having a place of 0% contribution to me spending a lot of my time making sure that I get my message right. And when I'm not promoting my own message, then I am promoting what the Kahalet has been saying. And if not the Kahalet, then also the other ministerial staff who work with him, and also the other members who have their individual contributions, because those contributions work together to form interdependency. If we all know about each other and we pass that information around, then we all can know and all get the benefits from each other. So, Brother TJ, what you going to get out of all this? I get bigger when everybody else gets bigger. I want to have a PBS for us, and you all have a message to get out there. Fair is fair. That's how SOC developed an interdependent relationship with HHStudio. SOC is already what SOC is. I was already standing on what I was doing. It just so happens to be that we both wanted. Thy kingdom come. We all wanted the same thing. That's where like minds can develop interdependent relationships that cause a trust that develops trust funds. And then there's a place for storage in the warehouses. That's how that's done. And then you don't have to go to the bank and ask them for a loan because you're already generating the things that you can do. And there is a very much needed request for it within the circle, within the assembly. It's not about going out and trying to please other people who are disinterested because there's some other brand out there with a gimmick and a sticker. No, we let them be distracted because we woke up from being distracted. Or we never were being distracted to begin with because we never were exposed to that. The idea is to get back to what we know. There was a time when it wasn't ugly sweater season, it was so and so knitted a sweater, and you might not like it, but I'm quite warm. Hmm? Yeah. Let's see here. We are at the 52-minute mark, and we've been cruising and rocking and rolling. It's been a steady signal, by the way. I pray that you all have been having a great day. I've been having a great day. Open my eyes a little bit after sunup, or as I've started saying, with the sun peeking over the horizon. You know, it's weird. We have to watch all the things that we say in these phrases. There was a book called 1984 when they were talking about double speak. You have to watch what you say because somebody might get offended or they might read you wrong. And then there's Fahrenheit 94011 or whatever. There's a book about people not being able to read books. Excuse me. 'Tis the season for sinuses, right? My sinuses are flaring up. Rada, rada, rada. So, now that we know about the interdependent relationship between SOC and HHStudio, I must finish the story about the background work that's going on with copyrights and royalties. You see, some of you may know about the prison mission. Have you heard about the widow mission or the orphan mission? You've heard about the sick and the shut-in. Have you heard about friends and family who are doing without while still struggling on the path? Now, I'm not talking about your dear ones that you know and know so and so got laid off last week, or so and so over there has been doing bad for all this time, and but if they did certain things in their life, they might get right. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. When they say there's a difference between being poor by treasure and poor in spirit, y'all gonna have to excuse me for a second. I'm gonna have to wipe my nose, but I was starting to run. Okay, poor in treasure and poor in spirit. Somebody might not have $1 million in their pocket, however, they got a million moves that will help them out and other people. Those million moves are actually going to be done in the name of Yahweh Elohim, and it's going to help other people so that they can actually grow and get bigger and better. Now, the person that got $1 million in their pocket, they go and they blow that $1 million in 20 days. blew $1 million in 20 days and nobody gets anything. Poor in spirit. Made 1 million moves and everybody gained, right? So this is all because everybody wants to give me questions about what's tithing and what's charity. Charity is helping out those who are in need while they are on the path, while they are on the divine path of trying to do what's right, to try to attain excellence for the day and then do the same thing the next day, to do better than they were before, to strive to hit the mark. Now, does that mean to be exactly perfect in that day and then try to do the same thing the next day? No, it means to improve. So there might be someone who did start at ground zero, or they might have gotten knocked down to ground zero, but the whole time they were already doing the walk. Not they chose to do the walk because you walked up. No, they were already doing the walk. Then you are obliged to help them. Right? Right. I'm trying to find some music. You have to excuse me, like I said. My sinuses are talking to me now. We're gonna keep on rocking and rolling. All right, you all give me just a second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry for leaving you all in a moment of silence. Let's see here. We were talking about things lagging, okay? Let's say you capture a recording of someone speaking, and it's something that they say on a repetitive basis, right? So you get it recorded and registered. That means that anytime that they say it, it's actually going to be counted because it's a registered sound. Ivan Martinez, Charles Calabres, Brittany Britton, really? Shalom Barak, peace and blessings to you. Thank you for joining. For all of you who are new, we are talking about entrepreneurship and service in your community. For the next few days, we're going to be discussing origins. There's 10 special interest groups that I particularly like to talk about and promote. So we're going to be talking about how they work and what they do. What does that have to do with entrepreneurship? We're going to be talking about promotion, uh, marketing, because that's what this is all about. You get in front of people, then you want to tell them about something, right? It's not about what I'm wearing as a brand, sometimes it's you need the information. I'm not here to sell you trinkets. I'm here to let you know about services from real people. So the issue that I'm having right now is some much needed comfort in the assembly, for sure. Sorry, it took a second for me to scroll up on the YouTube screen. Bienvenidos for all the Latinas and Latinos that have been coming in. Welcome to you. Uh, I've registered with a distribution company, and they give me my royalty reports on a quarterly basis. I was expecting to see a certain number in my printout today. I received my report, uh, and it's for October through December of 2024. You see, it takes about 6 months for you to get well, 3 months for you to get the prior activities. They can't do it on that moment and send it to you. In that case, what you do is you find the analytics to your profile that tells you the activity that's been happening, how many people have been watching what you post, how many people have interacted with the pictures, or how many people have commented, how many people have shared, so on and so forth. I can use that, how many views, and compare it to what's going on the royalty report. Well, my royalty report is missing quite a lot of numbers of views. I also know that in the background, there is the actual distribution company that I use, Sugo Music Group. And then I'm also registered with BMI and Sound Exchange. I've been having difficulty with the registration concerning Sound Exchange. The reason why is because the dates have been reassigned. At first, when I was uploading and registering music, it would be registered from the moment or the date that I actually uploaded, or it could be counted from the moment that it's published. That has been changed to where now it is the date that I originally signed an agreement. So in the background, I've had to go back and change all of those dates. That's a very deep catalog because, as I've said, imagine 5 albums, right? It's a little bit more than 5 albums. We'll say 6 or 7. You know, there's only 5 of them that are really out there in the public eye, but there's 6 or 7 at least. And that means anywhere close to 80 or 90 individual tracks that, excuse me, each of those tracks they have to go back and account for every time that those have been played. The agreement started in 2016. I started doing heavy work in 2019 and 2020. I got real major with it 2, 3 years ago, right? 2016, I actually uploaded and registered the first album. That was 2016. 2018, 19, registered the second album. 2020, 21, another album. 23 and the 24, 2 albums. And the whole time, I'm getting these notifications telling me that they're changing this up and they're changing that up, and there's a discrepancy over here, and then there's this over there, and I'm having to go back and make sure everything is right. You all heard an album today, the For Yahweh album. Now, here's something you all don't know, but we are celebrating the anniversary date because April 1st was the day that they registered the publishing, April 1st, 2024. So that was what, yesterday? The anniversary. And it's been a long time coming. Now, in the past two quarterly reports, that particular album outperformed anything else that I have registered. The top 3 or 4 tracks out of 8. It's the top thing as far as the amount of views and the amount accrued in profit. Hallelujah, alhamdulillah, all praises to the Most High. Now, you all have heard of the prison ministry. Those who are in prison nowadays, they can take part in digital media just as much as we do. However, it's limited. There are certain uncensored things that they can't listen to. There are certain songs that they can't hear, at least through what is provided as approved service. Now, even though I told you about some difficulties I'm going through, let me break something down for you. This same company, Sugo Music Distribution, placed my music in front of some people who provide streaming services for the incarcerated. And they allowed my music to be played on their platforms, and I get to see that on record on those royalty reports. Now, I didn't sign up and check mark on something saying that I wanted that to happen. They saw something in my music and said, let's put this over there. So we give thanks and honor to Yahweh Elohim, Ravak HaKadosh, At Yashva HaMashiach. Because we were in the right place at the right time, doing the right duty, and keeping it righteous. Able to walk through the doors of the prison ministry. I hear it's difficult nowadays to even write a letter and get it into someone just to let them know you care. So, we have the opportunity to be able to not only upload our content out here on social media, but we could register it and be able to do prison outreach. Okay. Now that was through Sugo Music Group. Meanwhile, BMI sends me a report as well. And they tell me that my music is being synced on college radio. Okay. Now, yesterday we were having a discussion, and I'm sure you all remember. And if not, please go back and play it. College radio stations were the ones who assembled an archive in order for public broadcasting stations to be assembled and made a thing. College radio stations. So it's beneficial for me to be part of BMI. So now we're going to get back to Sound Exchange, where the difficulty has arisen. You see, they are the ones that sent me the notification saying there's a discrepancy in the claims because there's this 200% thing going on. The distribution publishing company has 100%. And then the rights owner and performer has 100% claim. They're two different claims. The issue is, when do we give the rights to the distribution and publishing company? Because that's when the counts begin. for rights of performance. So they said, you know what? You made an agreement with us in 2016. So what we have to do is go back and scrub anyway for any time you posted something before you registered it, and we those numbers too. I know this from prior experience, from reading the agreement statement and just knowing, because I've had to deal with this issue for the last, I will say, 3 or 4 years. I'm steadily getting reports and seeing numbers. Sometimes the numbers actually match up. It's just this time I was expecting a certain number from a certain platform, and it didn't even show up. The platform didn't show up, the numbers didn't show up. So I get to go and do the managerial aspect, which is contact their people and let them know that my people are concerned, right? Because I have a special interest group that would like to have incarceration missionary work accomplished, and we want it done in a legitimate manner. You see, that's how SOC has an interdependent relationship with HHStudio and vice versa. Because if there's anybody out there with talent, and I know there are, people with musical talent, people with let's go deep, people with culinary talents, people with tailorship talents, people who have books out there, people who have consultation services, people who do offer insurance, people who can help repair homes, repair your vehicle, and they all have loved ones or know someone who loves someone who wants someone else to reach out and say, yes, you still do count and we do care. We love you. Because love is more than just a Hallmark card. Some people do appreciate it when you hand them a card. It's not the card itself. What do they say? It's the thought that counts. Know the difference between buying a card with some words in it and buying a blank card and writing your own words? I'm not very good at words. I was just thinking about you. Okay? You know, wasn't ever expecting to do a real cut and dry kind of run on you all at any given time. There's so much more planned in the future. And I'm not giving excuses. I'm just letting you all know. No, I wasn't expecting it to turn out this way today. As a matter of fact, I did have more plans of more music and whatever. We're following the so-called set script. I don't write out a script. I have an idea of what I want to talk about because I've been waiting a very long time to start speaking with you all. So it's right here, just waiting for me to say it. No, it's cut and dry because I've been waiting almost 2 or 3 years now for this day. Back in October, when I opened up YouTube Music and saw that result, it shocked me. And I said, I don't know if I can trust this. It wasn't that I couldn't trust it as far as this is going to be for real. I couldn't trust it as far as, well, I'm going to bank it on this. You see, because I did not market for that song to be heard and played on YouTube Music. It was not part of my 9 teammates. I was using YouTube for the video effects, right? The effects on my reports, not the video effects that they might happen to offer. I use a different video editor. It doesn't have watermarks or any of that. No, I wasn't even focused on just the playing aspect. You see, that was done through that particular company. They did it. And so now I'm not going to call them up and cuss them out or anything like that. No, I'm going to reach out to them and see how we can clear up what's going on and everybody move forward. Nothing to be upset about. What if those 8 million views didn't happen? We still have to progress. We still have to build. We still have to put something in the storehouses. If I had woken up in October and didn't see those 8 million views, there are still things that I have to set and get going because those 19 players are 9 different stores. And how many of you out here even know that I have stores available for merchandise? Hmm? So, got things to do because out of those 9 stores, there's actually 250 available opportunities. And I'm telling you about 9. And that doesn't just go for SOC or HHStudio. That goes for Cold Before Diamond Productions. That goes for Good Food Bands. That goes for Ground Floor Intelligence. That goes for Riley Barkley. That goes for Teachers of Tanzania. Mafia Soy Publications. STOP. Sustenance, Textiles, Occupations, Purpose. Consulting Edge. You ever really wanted to know how to get your business off the ground? You see, there's going to be some times where we get real intensive about it, some real how to. But first, we have to give that qualification of what makes something a business, what makes it a financial institution. So you have to have some history on the groundwork. What makes Highest Heights Studio an established label? So you see, number one, instead of me calling up a radio station exec and asking if I can get the music played, there's a publishing team that does that. They tell them that it's available, and then it's put on a playlist according to the genre and the tags and the metadata. So now what I have to do is find the appropriate people to fill up a whole 24-hour slot. And then on top of that, make sure that I can do this and make it available on a daily basis all year. And can we have some change ups? Can we have not even different people, just different things? We don't want the same thing constantly. Salt and pepper's nice. You got some cinnamon over there, some tarragon, turmeric, cumin, some sage, oregano, rosemary. Thyme. You got some thyme on your hands? Let's pick it up. That's actually interdependency as well. Go cook some food without adding something to it and then something else in order to combine flavors to make one element of sustenance. Interdependency. And once again, as Kahalat would say, that's compliments of Ravak HaKodesh. That was brought out of me through the Holy Spirit. I had no designs on saying any of those words together, didn't know it was going to happen, right? All praises. Hallelujah. Let's see here. We're now at the hour and 20-minute mark. I won't say that I've run out of things to talk about because that would be untrue. However, I will say that I have no desire of talking your ears off. So if anyone wants to put some questions in the comment section, any questions, comments, concerns, and so forth, uh, we are still working on how to get this live thing to work as far as sharing the screen over here on TikTok. Won't say that I'm exactly prepared to do so today and right now. I'm actually opening up the screen on my laptop to find some music. Take a breath for a second and rest you all's ears because I've been talking and talking. I enjoy you all's company and I pray that you enjoys mine. But gonna take a little break here. Matter of fact, my cup is empty. My cup is still empty. I never did fill it with coffee. This cup has been overflowing. Hope you all caught some of that. If not, the link will still be visible on YouTube, so you can watch it anytime. And as I announced earlier, I found out that yes, there is a recording that is available through the TikTok lives. It's on me. I need to go on and start downloading those from my personal archives, and I will be sharing back, little highlights from the different episodes or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, yeah. I'd like to give a special shout out to a brother named Morel Crowell. He's one of the first people that told me that I do need to go ahead and start doing live shows. And at the time, I was thinking about I want to do live shows where it's like an over the shoulder session where you can see me tapping on the screen, making a beat, tappity tappity boom boom bap. I want to do that. How to make a beat and post your own content. I wanted that to be the show. And then I thought, well, no, I don't want to just spend all week someone watching me make improv beats. Well, what can I do? I don't want to spend all week talking about me. I'd rather have guests. I'd rather have different subjects to talk about. This is a special shout out to Brother Morel Crowell because he said he really liked when I was sharing all of the different improv beats and stuff like that. He got real jazzed up about it, pun intended. Said that he'd like for me to share more. Y'all excuse me for just a moment. Sinus is still acting funny. I'll be right. So, went and found this handy dandy thumb drive that actually does have the music I was looking for. It doesn't have that particular soundtrack I was looking for, but it has some instrumentals. So, gonna open this up real quick. Wow. It's always when you go looking for something that ain't there no more. Wow. What's over here? What's this? Nope. That's not appropriate. Definitely can't play that. Just looking for a little bit of sound filler for a second while I step away from the camera. I apologize to you all in advance. Like I said, uh, nature is not agreeing with me right now. My sinuses are saying they're taking over. So what do you do? Hmm. but can't find the song. So I'm gonna chill on this one for just a couple seconds. I'll be right back.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this path known as life. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and their skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
All right, coffee. Who's got your coffee? We on the instant, y'all. Cafe Bustelo. Oh, let's see here. One over in TikTok land, one over in YouTube land. Thank you all for staying and hanging out. Oh, for sure, bro. Rocco, AJ, Shalom Barak. Peace and blessings to you. Let's see here. I'm still on a mission to find those instrumentals. It's a reminder of what I was doing a few years ago compared to what I've accomplished now, the things that I've learned. So I wanted to play them. You see, DJ Microwave 5000 Watts is one of my artist names, and one of the albums that's registered is under that name. And all of those instrumentals that I did, most of them are registered that way. Uh, and I have something that I'm doing. The instrumentals will be registered by their own standing, along with anytime there's some lyrics added or a sound or anything like that. So if it gets remixed or changed up, it'll have its own identity. Doing that instead of doing leases, because when you lease a beat, you go onto a streaming platform, you place your music there, and then any person, any random person can come along and say, okay, I want to buy your beat for a specific amount of money, and then I'm going to run off and do whatever I want to with it. Huh. that means that if I don't agree with what they say or how they say it, there's nothing I can do about it. If they wind up catching the wrong kind of notoriety, that might reflect back on me because of the sound that they wanted to use. Hmm. Now, this all goes back to getting permission to use another artist's work, whether it's samples of them speaking or sounds of music or whatever the case may be. In in the instance, my own case. So I'm looking at 8 million views off of a song that's shared with some other artists, some prominent artists who don't really have an idea that I exist. So it's not so much about even I want to see the results. I want to see the results so that they can see it, right? you know, it's a mutual thing. So anyhow, I rambled on and halfway forgot what I was talking about, y'all. Delirious. Do y'all know that I've spent the last 4 days up going on coffee, trying to catch up off of the 2 weeks that I missed? Alcoholic is doing a whole bunch of traveling, stopping when he can. May his family be protected in safety. May all of us in our circles be protected in safety. May we be healed and blessed, prepared for our missions for each day, and then rested up so that we can replenish our resources, whether it's within body and also in spirit and mind. And let us also remember that it's not so much about us asking for those things because they're provided the moment that we are given the gift of life. Those things are provided. What we have to remember is to keep a presence of mind of where it comes from and to give thanks and to stay on the mission. So, on that note, we do ask for strength and sustenance and mercy. While we do strive for perfection on the divine path that has been provided, we ask to not be counted amongst those who were disappointers, who turned away from the path. We ask for forgiveness for the times that we are wrong, and we give thanks for the guidance that is in front of us and for us to reflect on. This petition we send to Yahweh Elohim, At Ravak HaKadesh, At Yahshua HaMashiach, Amen. It's been a great day. I don't know about you all. I've had a great day and it's not over yet. I finally got some coffee. I had like one sip of it so far. Well, I had some coffee. Well, I had some coffee earlier, but gone what? Almost 2 hours without actually having something to drink. So it kind of got to me. The leasing days. Yo, to be honest with you, bro, my son has gotten into that, into beat leasing. He hit me up. Hey, Dad, what would you do if you wanted to lease something? I said, all right, that's what you do. You have your set price. And you also tell them, I'm going to be claiming writers' ownership's rights. And also, I'm going to be claiming my end of performance rights because I had to perform in order to make this beat. Now, you can have your own writers' rights and performers' rights from your lyrics. However, this track is going to be registered in my name and so on and so forth. Not even going to bother with you about Well, I want a certain percentage of your royalties because I'm claiming royalties on this track. When you register it with lyrics on it, you'll have your own track. You'll have your ISRC with lyrics. I'll have a different ISRC with an instrumental, and my instrumental will have an ISWC saying that this is my instrumental. If anybody changes it, they can change it and then claim something else, but this is where it was generated from. And the same with your track that has lyrics on it now. You see, my track is going to be there and it's standing. And when somebody has a strike on their handy dandy YouTube account and it says copyright found, it's going to give credit. So we did an exercise earlier today. It was a test. And we did an exercise yesterday and we got a great confirmation. You see, we were playing some DJ Microwave 5,000 watts music yesterday and it was found. Yes, YouTube played back and found that music. Now, excuse me, it also found an instrumental that I was playing from Alicia Keys. That one got partially restricted. Now, this is the first time that anything that I've ever posted was restricted in any kind of way. Now, I've had my own stuff get restricted because other companies wanted to claim it, and I had to clear that up, and then everything was fine. This is the first time something was partially restricted, and I can't do anything about it. Apparently, if you play something or this particular song from this particular release, it got restricted in Russia. Everybody else can hear it. Russia can't hear that section of that video. So the live from yesterday, I don't know if the whole thing is muted out or just that spot. Now, to be honest with you, there's a social media site that I use that's in Russia. It's called OK.ru. There's another called VKontact. I haven't been on those sites in a couple of years now. I haven't been dealing with anything that has something to do with global conflict because the stakes are too high. I don't want to be your ally any more than I want to be your opponent. I'm not involved in it. It's also, and if you're on Quebec, that's why I told you before, I don't claim any nationalities because I don't have a side. I don't have a dog in that fight because I don't have a dog. Oh, in all honesty though. So we had a great confirmation finding out that Alicia Keys is restricted in that particular song, playback in Russia. A song from DJ Microwave 5,000 watts was found. A song from X Clan was found. Every time that I've done a live in these past couple of weeks or in this past month, there's been 2 weeks straight, and then we picked back up. Every day I was running a test because I was playing songs to find out what would get picked up. Now, Don willing, inshallah, we'll get better sound equipment to help the system out so that it can find the music and the sounds. I bring that up because there's a difference between what you get for registration for an instrumental compared to what you get for registration for a full complete song. The producer may have registered that individual track. I tell you about music because that's the business that I'm currently involved in. If we wanted to talk about painting houses, I could. If you wanted to talk about moving furniture, I could. If you want to talk about cutting lawns, I could. If you want to talk about driving trucks, we can talk about that. At this point, though, this is where my focus is. So, like I said, you fill in the blanks and then apply the situation. Okay? So, yeah, confirmation. This is a test because we are striving to get a public service broadcasting system, and we're going to use whatever is out there. And even afterwards, once we've secured a safe place, we will use what's out there to let other people know. Why? Because there are four angels waiting for the day that the true righteous word has been spread across the globe in order for them to be released to do their active duty. And every day that I open my eyes and see occurrences in life is a day for me to Hazan, revel, rejoice. It's my favorite scroll. Revel. It's my favorite scroll. Next to Barashite. Revel is my favorite one. Hazan. And on that note, I'm supposed to be finding some music, right? Hey. Hmm. We're not doing that. Hmm. Nope, 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 and nope. Wonder what this sounds like. Nope. See, you all aren't hearing it, but there's some hissing to some of the sounds, and I don't want to share that. Because even if you can't hear it, it's disturbing my ears. Let's see here. We're now going back to Old Faithful. Reggae, reggae, reggae. Or some jazz, right? I wanted to play these instrumentals because I want to dedicate them to Brother Morel. We're at the hour and 44-minute mark. I want to find these instrumentals. I want to close out with those instrumentals. So please bear with me. All right. I mean, really. I give up. I give up. But the funny thing is, like an hour or so from now, I'll be just sitting around doing something else, working on some other project, and boom, it's gonna pop up because there's two or three specific folders that I'm looking for. And they are drum pad songs, and I've seen them. I've seen them, and I played them back. I know they exist, just can't find them right now. So this is what we're going to do. I'll play this. Yeah, hover is lower. Gonna have to prepare tomorrow's playlist because I have those songs lined up. But thank you all for spending this time. Gonna let these songs play out and then we'll call it a day. Thank you all. By the way, Brother Cole, I got the mix lined up with the video for the promo. Computer, speak for me. Got all that lined up. The song's like 35 seconds long. The video I got is like 27 seconds. So I got to extend it a little bit and put all the mixes and blends in for the frame change ups. Inshallah, darn willing, we'll have that up and out in about an hour or two. So like I said, I'll be in the middle of doing that and all of a sudden come across that file, right? Find the music that I was looking for. Yeah. I won't say I'm scatterbrained, but I will say that I'm delirious. Got a lot going on. Yes, sir. Babakasha. Glad to be of service. Mucho me gusto. Para que jale. By the way, I appreciate you for inspiring me to hit up that freestyle yesterday. That was a great release. Thanks, man. Told you before, you inspired me more than you know. These instrumentals are from an album that my homie Dizzy came across. We called it Jazzmatazz off of DJ Premier. We needed some beats kind of like DJ Premier. We wanted to do some stuff. That's right. The music is in us. We can't just keep it in us. We need to share it. What we can produce is what other people want to emote. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Either way, I'm more than an old school skit. Who knows about hip hop? Did you know that if you move your hip a certain way, the other side will drop of your body? Meaning that your balance changes. Never get broken down like a shotty or a shotgun, you know. When it's broken down, they have to empty the chamber. What's yours? Son, are you maxing out? What's your membrane like? People out here chasing clout. Yeah. My neurons fire just like other people catch flat tires. You better get some fix or flat because right now my brain goes off track, off the rails. If you called me insane, then you would be falling like a plane with no wings. You see, even though you might call me crazy, I've been doing this way longer than the world been spinning. That means that you dizzy. And I ain't talking about my homie because he's Mariato. Like I said, don't tell nobody that you done heard me speak in Spanish. I might have to come find you. Now this one right here is one of my favorite tracks from that Jasmine Taz album. Like I was saying, we get some better equipment so we can let those 808 woofers hit. You see, I'm a bass junkie, and when the bass hits just right, I call it a cellar dweller beat because it's nothing but bass hitting you, and it sounds like it came from underground somewhere, right? Yeah. Check this one out. Let's all know about something I was thinking about. Well, you done heard about them goats that they call gruff. What about them rams that is radical? They tough enough. You see, the Billy Goats went over the bridge to get past the troll, you dig? They wanted to get to the greener grass on the other side. Didn't understand that there's people already over there. Check your own hide. Check your own neck. We roll with Shaolin. Get your respects. Got some Wing Chun over here. Then cut off our fleece, because that's from last year. Went and sold a couple of hoodies and some pants too, and my music ain't from Sam Goody. So who are these goats? You say you the greatest of all time, your boat don't float. Because I came from none, and he only represents one, you heard? Yeah, have you been to a hood? Have you been to Earth? Do you know about the people that stood before even your ancestors and how they representing keeping the standards, knowing certain scrolls? Even before people started talking about cancer and how old other years were and how they counted time. Even before people was counting dimes, before there was currency, before all of that, before there was a czar, before there was rap, when a whole culture had a spoken word that they called bar, bar, bar. Then came the vultures because they couldn't understand, went and ran across the far land where they spoke Farsi. And now they call it Persian because they Greek. And even the Greek were really Mycenaeans. And who were the Hyksos? They were the blended ones. Because there was Kemet and then there was Egypt. And that's two different regions in the same place and at the same time. But see, there was a dynasty. And then they had their minds occupied and colonization happened. Kind of like Axiom in Ethiopia. You see, I'm not rapping, I'm speaking. And this is how it was done before the pen and the ink. I want to thank everyone for spending this time. Pray that you have a great day. Walk with peace. Walk with purpose. And anytime if you need it, you can have my ears and my shoulder, because I will listen just as much as you've been listening to me. Thank you for your time. Much love. Peace and respect. Yahava Ahava. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum.